Alright, good morning. I'm trying to be quiet because I just got in the stand and I just had deer all around me. I actually jumped one on the way in, and I ended up stopping and turning my light off. I had my red headlamp on, and when I turned it back on, the deer was like 30 yards from me and took off. And then just as I got my stuff set up and sat down on my stand, I had like at least two, I think three deer all around me walking around. And I can still hear a couple of them off in the distance, so I'm going to be quiet, and hopefully something gets shot today. Alright, well, it's about 8 o'clock right now. I got to the stand about 6:30. Actually, when I first came in here, I walked a little bit further down in, probably almost 100 yards, and I could hear a deer walking in the woods right next to me. So I stopped and turned my headlamp off. I had my red light on. The thing just kind of kept walking, so I figured I better kind of back out a little bit and get back up on the hillside a little. And just as soon as I turned my light on and turned around to head back up the hill, that deer took off, ran a little way, stopped, blew, and then just started walking. So I came back up the hill. Luckily, in the dark, I didn't know where I was going or anything or what was going on. I couldn't see much with my red light, but got myself in a tree and found a pretty decent spot, I think. As soon as I got set up and sat down this morning, I had a deer walking off to my right. I got gray squirrels all over the place. I had a deer. I had like 3 different deer around me anyway. They all kind of moved off pretty much before it was even daylight. And since then, I've seen nothing but I had a porcupine come through that had me going for a little bit. He sounded like he was a deer coming. But then I kind of heard him dragging through the leaves, so I figured it was probably either a skunk or a porcupine. It was a porcupine. But nothing but gray squirrels since then. But it seems like a pretty good spot. There's definitely deer in here. And no wind today. It's overcast. I was out the other day before yesterday, and the wind was blowing like 20 miles an hour all day. It sucked. But it's barely moving now. I'm facing pretty much southwest, and the air's moving out of the south. So it's kind of blowing over my right shoulder and back into this thick stuff behind me. Well, I'm going to hang out. It's 8 o'clock right now. See what happens this morning. If I don't see much, then I might try to push a little bit further down into this piece, but see what happens. These squirrels are stressing me out. It's like dead quiet out here, and all I can hear is leaves rustling here and there and everywhere, and I'm just like looking around waiting for a deer to come along. But it's gray squirrels every time. Alright, it is about 1 o'clock now. I got down a little while ago. I decided I wanted to move to this tree that's pretty much right next to the tree I was just in. But I could get up a little bit higher in this tree and I can see a lot more from here. But of course, as I got on the ground, I was getting my stuff moved over to this tree, and I had 2 doe sneak in on me. and they ended up busting and taking off. I think they must have saw me moving around. I don't think they smelled me, but whatever. I'm not surprised at all. I decided to get down and move my tree stand, and that's when the deer come in. Like I said, it's 1 o'clock now. I've got about 5 hours, give or take. Just started raining a little bit. I'm underneath this hemlock now, so I'm not going to get wet unless it really pours, but gonna hang out, see what happens. Hopefully I get some more deer to come in tonight. Well, I'm not sure how good that shot was, but just as I got my pin on her, she kind of turned and quartered away from me. I don't know if you guys could see it. I know that birch tree was probably in the way of the camera. I did get it on my GoPro, but I definitely hit her, but she was quartered away, and I think I might have just caught her right front leg. But I'm going to give it a minute, and I'll get down and check my arrow out and see what it looks like and see if I can find any blood. Definitely the shot was a little more right than I wanted to. If I had tucked it a little to the left, I would have still got her good right in the heart. I wasn't even expecting that. I was just sitting there. Never even heard her come in. I just turned around and she was right there, 20 yards away. Well, to give it a little bit and I'll get down and check my arrow out, I guess. It's been 5 minutes since I shot that deer. I just had, must have been Mama Doe. Came in on the same trail. She's still there blowing at me. I do have 2 bonus tags. If she comes back, I'm going to shoot her too. I don't think she's going to though. She's blowing at me. Alright. Oh, I just got down out of the tree. That other doe just kept blowing at me, and she eventually ran off. I gave it about a half hour. I'm going to go check out my arrow and see what it looks like. Looks like I ripped the fletchings right off it, possibly. Maybe not. Just bloody. That's good. Looks like good bright blood anyway. see if I can follow this trail. I'm actually probably going to just use the GoPro to try to follow this blood trail. Just because I don't want to have my hands full in case I see that deer alive. I want to be able to try to get a shot at her, hopefully. So I'm going to put this camera away for a minute. I don't know how well the GoPro is going to pick that up, but I'm about 10 feet from impact, and we definitely have serious blood. I'd say I definitely got lung, maybe even heart. But I don't think she's going to be far down here. Well, that was easy enough. I got about 10 feet from where my arrow was stuck in the ground and started finding good blood. I've gone 30 yards. She is right there, piled up. I never even heard her go down, actually. But yeah, this is a pretty good blood trail. Just a little one, probably 100 pounds undressed. But it'll be an easy drag out of here. I'm gonna probably go get my stuff, get it back to the truck, and then I'll come back and clean her out and get her out of here. So, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, well here she is. I actually got her a little bit better than I thought, a lot better than I thought. Got her pretty low. Anyway, I think where she had her head bent down feeding, it went in here and out her neck. So, yeah, like I said, she ran about 30 yards. And that was it. And there was so much motion going on in the woods at the time, I couldn't even hear her crash. But I'm going to get out of here, go get my tree stand and get out of here and come back and get her and drag her out and go get her tagged up and stuff. And I will probably just wait till I get her back to the house to weigh her. I've got a scale at the house now, so I will see you guys back at the house after I get her tagged up and cleaned up and everything else. I know you guys probably can't see that, but 62.4 pounds dressed. That's a little one. Good one for the freezer. I'm more than happy. What are you doing? Licking up deer blood?